Today is going to be an interesting video. I want to talk about the current state of Red Dead Online with you all, and the reason for doing so is really just because in the next few days, the next gen version of GTA 5 releases, and so to me, it makes sense to take a look at what's happening in Red Dead Online, and take a look at how players are feeling and possibly where we're headed next. Really, since we started getting these monthly events and updates, I think a lot of the longtime players really got turned off of the game, but at the same time, a lot of new players also funneled in, and while we're going to talk about this all in more detail later, this is the plan for the video. So if you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it, and if you want to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So, talking about the state of Red Dead Online, I have a few key points to touch on, but first, let's talk about stability and performance. Overall, I think that's in a good place. There have been other times in between major DLC updates, if you can even call them that, where there were like no animals spawning, roles were broken, the collector role is still broken unfortunately, and you could complete missions and items and supplies that you either looted, acquired, or purchased would just all get deleted and the game would remove them from you and your character when you play, like the Carmela Montez legendary bounty for example, but that was fixed. Collectibles used to not spawn and also still don't spawn in certain occasions, and also there's been lots of issues in the past, and while there are still annoying bugs or other exploits like off radar on console and things that Rockstar just never took the time or energy to fix, I can say that this game, performance-wise, both stability on consoles and for the PC and Stadia, are thankfully a lot better off than we've seen before. And we even have a new lobby system and networking feature in-game that was changed or adjusted or added recently, whatever you want to call it, I think a few months ago, that allows for less disconnects and actually just places players in their own solo lobby if they have a poor connection. In the past, it used to just get disconnected from the game outright, and that can still happen if you lose connection entirely or something else happens, but perhaps you were in the situation where you had a small ping spike from your ISP, or even you were experiencing some packet loss on your local area network, and before you would just get kicked right out of online. But now you basically enter your own temporary solo lobby, and you stay there until your connection resumes. And since private sessions and private lobbies in Red Dead Online are still not a thing, this change has definitely been welcomed by many players, and you can even change your MTU settings now like you can with GTA Online on console to achieve your own solo lobbies on command as well. Before, if you tried it, you would just get disconnected, and you also wouldn't be able to reconnect to online until you reset your MTU settings to their default values. So now, to see this, it's an awesome, a very good change, but that leads into the next topic that I want to cover, and that's in regards to what Rockstar is doing to further this game, as well as their plans for new DLC and other new content updates. We know in the meantime that before we get any other news, in the February event and update newswire, Rockstar did confirm that, quote, in the coming months, quote, these sorts of role bonuses, discounts, free rewards, and items, the typical things we used to get weekly, will continue on a monthly basis now, as Rockstar basically tries to kind of switch up their proven formula, as well as what also seems to be their way of biding their time before they introduce anything new to the game. And while these extended periods of bonuses and discounts have been nice for players who are actively leveling up and playing Red Dead Online, like for right now on Twitch, I'm starting over on a new character on PC just to level up a female character, because the bounty hunter bonuses are an excellent way of accumulating some extra money and XP in this game right now. But overall, a lot of the longtime players like myself, and really just many people in general, just want some new adventures and some content to sink our teeth into. And at the time of me recording this video on Friday, March 11th, it has been 241 days since Blood Money and the DLC release, which was the last quote-unquote major Red Dead Online update. And when I say major, I just mean the fact that it was a DLC and it was an expansion to the game, but of course, we all know it was still very far off from the Frontier Pursuits update, which was hands down the largest update this game has ever seen and gotten. And even that, Frontier Pursuits, as big of an update for Red Dead as it was, it still would be considered a medium-sized DLC for GTA Online, which is Rockstar's other game, of course, that they're putting way more time, attention, resources, and capital into. But nevertheless, 241 days is a really long time to go without any sort of new additions to the game in the form of a DLC. We've also gotten some smaller updates like the Quick Draw Clubs, which I do like because rather than getting that 100 level Outlaw Pass all at once, and then we have to wait months for something new. We now get a 100 level outlaw pass split up into 25 level chunks, and it gives players an opportunity to at least come back to the game and check out something new on a monthly basis. But with that out of the way, and the smaller things like, you know, the Halloween and Christmas call to arms and the Halloween pass, those have all come and gone, the player base definitely needs more. And I still don't fully understand why Rockstar wouldn't even have another set of quick draw clubs ready to go in the meantime, considering that's the least resource intensive thing when it comes to new content in this game. It's mostly just coupons and a few other cosmetics, but it also gives you some new ranks and levels to chase in the meantime, and surely designing missions and full-fledged out roles and things like that could take a lot longer. But especially recently, with the most recent Take-Two Investors Conference, Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold over 4 million copies in the last quarter alone, and we're going to get some new financials in a couple months, I think in May. And then also the other thing is that the player base has like doubled and tripled in the meantime, and now it's starting to taper off again with these monthly events. But when the game was discounted, we had a lot of new players coming into the game. So the fact that they're not adding anything new and capitalizing on that is absolutely crazy to me. But, you know, we don't have those things. We really haven't had any other new cosmetics or other unlocks added either. We've had a few leaks of content since the start of 2021, which we have yet to see come true. Some has come true so far, with like the Blood Money update when it was leaked early as a whole, the quick draw clubs, call to arms, etc. But the Moonshiner and Trader Wagon liveries have not made their way into the public version of online yet, and SteamDB and the QA beta, the places where we can observe any sort of work that Rockstar is making to Red Dead, that right now is pretty silent too, with the exception of a few sweeping changes that they're making to Red Dead Online's depots to prepare for a complete separation of Red Dead Online from Red Dead Redemption 2, depending on which version you purchase. And we covered like the developments of that news and information a couple weeks ago when it was kind of happening. But the other few things I wanted to talk about like was missions. No new missions since the Blood Money update besides the call to arms maps. We got 10 new call to arms, 5 for Halloween, 5 for Christmas. So if you want to consider those missions, maybe 10 new ones at most, but those are all just survival waves and things like that. And we already had the originals from August, so it's technically not like super brand new awesome stuff. On the topic of weapons, no new weapons since the elephant rifle was added in the Naturalist DLC, which was 591 days ago. And overall, that's a complete like niche and joke of a weapon overall. You know, the last really good one that was added, you could say, would be like the Lamat revolver from the spring 2019 update or something like that, or the Navy revolver from Moonshiners. But since then, not much. Horses, again, no new horses since the DLC Mustangs, Turkmens, and Missouri Foxtrotters were added in the Bounty Hunter expansion, and that was December 1st of 2020, which was 465 days ago. Ability cards. No new ability cards since the spring update from May 14th, 2019. That was over 1,032 days ago. There's lots of confirmed new cards in the Red Dead Online game files that are not available publicly yet and won't be available until a DLC adds them, and that's what I find unfortunate. That type of content, especially in these long months where nothing gets updated or changed within the game at all, these would be the perfect times to fill in the gaps with some new stuff, like ability cards, even just DLC horses, or like some extra variants for weapons, or whatever the case is. But I think with all that said, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. That's all the time we have for today, and we're going to be wrapping things up right here. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. I really just wanted to bring this video to you all today to talk to the new players, the longtime players, really just talk about Red Dead Online, because, you know, we've been talking about some of the monthly update stuff, some tips and tricks here and there, and I'm going to continue to try and bring some new stuff here on the channel while we have a drought of content. You know, we need to make our own fun in the game and talk about different things. But for now, I did want to revisit this topic because usually midway through, in between like waiting for a DLC or something, and despite us not having something in December, usually I just want to catch up with you guys. So we consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips and tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.